What's poppin', Medic Gang? Are you guys trying to hang? Oh man, god dang. It's your main. It's your host with the most, Mr. Mark Money Rock Meyer with the fire. Here to share ideas and bring the collective vibration up higher. Your boy's caffeinated, he feels good. I missed you guys, it's been a minute, and it's been even longer since we actually talked about astrology on here. So without further ado, let's break it down. So I'm gonna pause for the cause right quick. If you guys don't understand how astrology works, the simplest way I can put it is astrology extrapolates astronomy and looks at how the energetic influences of the planets and stars affect humanity. Mic drop, you know? I think that's pretty good. So like I said, it's been a minute since we talked about astrology. I really am working on some cool things in the process right now, so stay tuned. Some of y'all already know, but when it comes to astrology, there's literally nothing new under the sun. So y'all will hear me say the same exact things over and over again, probably a million different ways before I die. Because there's layers to this, and that's what the principle of correspondence is all about. As above, so below, so within, so without, etc. Basically, we can understand the spirit and the planets through our physical body and vice versa. So that seed is just gonna sit in your mind and just let that germinate, okay? We're not gonna really talk about it. But if you aren't familiar, it's Sagittarius season right now. So happy birthday to my Sag friends and family. I love y'all. Y'all wise guys and wise girls. Y'all are great. It's that fire trine energy, you know? Leos and Aries, feel that. So today is the beginning of the lunar cycle. So get excited, it's a new moon. An astronomical fact about the lunar cycle that kind of gets ignored in beginner astrology material is that in the case of a new moon, the sun and the moon will always have the same sign. And this is simple math. The reason the moon is new and dark and invisible is because they're in the same spot in the sky, conjunct in the constellation. They're not reflecting, the moon doesn't reflect the sun's rays back at the earth. It's reflecting it the other way. Therefore, we can't see it. So by contrast, every full moon will be in direct opposition of the sun. So let me give you an example. Let's say around March, our sun is in Aries, okay? So the new moon in Aries will also be in Aries. The full moon in Aries is gonna be in Libra, okay? Because of the direct opposition. So some of my friends who tell me their sun and moon sign, and then they're like, I was born on a new moon. You don't gotta tell me, I know. Because they're in opposition. It's a 180 degree angle. Simple geometry, you dig? So just figure out how to drop that there. So therefore we can conclude the sun and the moon are in Sagittarius, in the same constellation. Therefore the Earth's perspective of those planets is being directed along with the Sagittarius energy, right? So not only are they sharing the same sign this time, today is a solar eclipse. That being a new moon, it doesn't really mean anything because you're still not going to see it. But not only are we sharing the same sign, we're sharing the same degree. So, dang, they're really trying to talk about the same thing right now. So that's important to note. But what's even more important to note is what even is Sagittarius? So how do we work with this? So Sagittarius is pretty dope, y'all. And I teach all of my students, and I have other videos about this if you want to watch them. We break zodiacal signs into 5 different ways. 5 categories, okay? This helps you get a functional understanding of the sign. We've got element, modality, duplicity, planetary rulership, corresponding house, okay? So element is not periodic. We're talking alchemical. We're talking about fire, earth, air, water. These are energetic components to the states of matter. Solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Not in that respective order. Solid being earth, liquid being water, gas being air, plasma being fire. That's the corresponding order. So we're not looking at the physical manifestations of that word on Earth because in the solar system, in the universe, these energetic components manifest differently. As an example, let's say like the outer planets like Neptune or Pluto, we would have different frozen chemicals, you know, to encompass Earth, you know, or like even the moon is the alchemical element of Earth because it's solid and physical, you know, and different outer planets as well would have different atmospheres with like ammonium or helium or different things that we don't consider air that aren't just hydrogen and oxygen. You know, there's different chemical compositions. So element is a energetic component. Modality is the mode in which the element is expressed, okay? To give you more information on how that manifests, because it's simpler than just having 4 elements. So in the mode of Sagittarius, we've got fire in a mutable form. Mutable being the dissolution of the wave. Cardinal, fixed, mutable. 1, 2, 3. Easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC. Okay? Duplicity is a masculine or feminine quality. Expressive or receptive. So plus or minus, we're not looking at gender. So this is expressive, fire in a mutable way. Okay? And then when we talk about planetary rulership, this is kind of confusing jargon. A lot of people don't really understand this because it's a weird word. But rulership basically means energetic correspondence. So it has nothing to do with ownership, even though it sounds like it. But when we find energetic correspondence between a sign and a planet, we can assign exaltation and debilitation. And what that means is powerful or weak positions, okay? And this is how we can do your own horoscope or do a transit chart and figure out how astrology is going to affect us all collectively. And then corresponding house, I want to make this abundantly clear. This is a crutch. This is a really good way to delineate and memorize and learn astrology as a beginner. But as you progress in your studies, it must be distinguished that the signs and the houses are not the same thing. There is clear correspondence and connections you can draw to help you memorize, but sometimes you got to take the little training wheels off the bike and go faster, you know? That's what I'm trying to get at. So the most important way to look at Sagittarius is through the planetary rulership in the corresponding houses, okay? So at large, fire, when it comes to the person, is going to be the ego and the willpower and the drive and showing up and being there. Fire burns. Fire is consuming. Fire is felt and seen. So this is how we see and feel about the world in a mutable, adaptable way. Cardinal being creative, fixed meaning fixated and holding it down, mutable being dissolving, dissolution. This is adaptable viewpoints and philosophies of the world, okay? And if you want to look at polarity, which is another hermetic principle that teaches so much when it comes to astrology, opposites are identical, just varying in degree. Every time you jump over this wheel, you're going to get the same exact thing on the other side because this pole is the same measure. You just have different qualities on the other sides. Diametric opposites always have varying measures in between, like hot and cold, left and right, up and down. They're the same thing, but expressed in a different way. You get what I'm saying? So when we look at the 9th astrological house, this is in direct opposition to the 3rd. So the 3rd being your immediate environment and communication and ideas. This is extrapolated on a higher level. So this is exiting your immediate environment. This is higher learning. This is wisdom, philosophy, kind of religion, but that's more of the 12th house. But this is your higher philosophies and ideals about the world and how you see and feel about things, ethics, morality, things of that nature. And with the planetary correspondence, we're looking at the planet of Jupiter. And you can learn a lot about all the planets through physical correspondence, especially Jupiter, because Jupiter is freaking huge, dude. It's the biggest one in the solar system. So the energetic theme is expansiveness. And you can look at the corresponding mythology as well for more information, because the mythology is based on physical correspondence. But expansiveness, astrologers call Jupiter the greater benefic because when it transits through our astrological houses and affects us collectively, we experience expansion and benefits through it, whether that's learning, travel, higher education, or having some sort of philosophy kicked your way by another person, place, or thing. That's the energy of Jupiter. So this being the beginning of the lunar cycle, this is a time to kind of reflect and also project, look forward, and really think about what this lunar cycle will hold for you, friend. Especially in terms of experience, because the 9th house is all about experience. It's about leaving the immediate environment so you can go have an experience, aka a spiritual experiment, and gain some wisdom and knowledge about the world you live in. And there is a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is endless. Everybody knows things. And the more you know that you don't know. That's why we call it knowledge. So wisdom is information that you can attach to the physical world and use. It doesn't matter what you know if you can't use it. Knowledge isn't power. Knowledge is power when applied and taken action on. So important distinguishing. I don't know what the word is, but y'all understand the energy of what I'm trying to say. I don't know what the word is for real. I'm not going to try. Let's just forget about that. But whether you realize it or not, this year has been really good to you. So if you're still bumming, I implore you to please change the narrative. I guarantee you've learned a lot of things and experienced so much this year. And that's really the theme of how we're going to end the year. So end it as strong as you possibly can and really look inside your spirit and think about what you want to learn, what you want to experience. Make the plan and take the action, and don't let anybody stop you, because shit's getting real, y'all. Y'all know it's a weird year. Astrologically, correspondence will not lie. So we got some cool things ahead of us. So hope you guys learned something or enjoyed this video. If you want a private lesson or an astrology reading, link in the bio. Or if you want clothes from your boy Mark through MetaGifts, link in the bio. 10% of your orders go straight to nature.org. The planet which we all depend on needs it. So tap in. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy the new moon.